Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez takes place this weekend in the main event of UFC ABC on 3. UFC Fight Night Long Island, UFC ABC on UFC ABC, Ortega versus Rodriguez, and I cannot wait for this main event. Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez. I mean, in Yair's case, you can maybe say a title elimination bout, but for Brian Ortega's case, it's definitely not. Brian Ortega coming off a bad loss to Alexander Volkanovski, which isn't bad whatsoever. Volkanovski is a beast. He had better moments in that fight, arguably did better than Holloway and the Korean Zombie against Volkanovski because he had those submission attempts. Everyone knows by now. Of course, he did beat the Korean Zombie. Had a great performance against the Korean Zombie. Of course, lost to Max Holloway before. And before, he just was on a spree. But lately, coming off a loss. Yair Rodriguez, though, also coming off a loss to Max Holloway in a close competitive decision where he arguably lost 3 rounds to 2, 4 rounds to 1. It was a pretty good win for Holloway. If at worst for Yair, at best for Yair, it was kind of like 3-2 max, but he still lost the fight. Yeah, before that he beat Jeremy Stevens, of course that accidental eye gouge in the first fight, and then he knocked out Korean Zombie. Yeah, both guys have been looking good lately. Both guys fought last year. Both guys are coming back here now. I just think Yair is gonna get caught in that guillotine sometime in this fight. I just don't trust Yair in this fight, man. I just don't trust him at all. He's an underdog here. I completely understand. I like Yair Rodriguez, but I just haven't seen much KO power from him. So fair play, he does have those kicks. One of the best kickers in the UFC. I would say pound for pound, the best kicker in the UFC. I mean, he throws kicks wildly. I know you can maybe say, oh, Edson Barboza, but Barboza just lands calf kicks and wheel kicks here and there. Yair just throws tornado kicks, spinning thunder roll kicks. Like, dude's insane. Spinning wheel kick himself, spinning front kick. Not spinning front kick. That would be crazy. That's not even a thing. But the one he got on Andre Fili, he is one of the best kickers in the UFC, but I just think he's taking on a tough test here in Brian Ortega. I think Ortega's got this one in the bag, man. I think he's good. Of course, he did catch Volkanovski in that guillotine, and then he got a triangle at one moment. And fair play, he did punch Volk down, and then he almost got a mounted guillotine win. But at that point, Volk's a monster at that point, man. Ortega's a monster at that point. Almost got the win. Volk came back, showed the heart he has, and smashed Brian Ortega in that fight. I just don't see Yair winning. I don't see Yair getting this one done. I think he's going to lose. I just don't see him winning this one. That's the problem I have here. I just think Brian Ortega is going to have he has a great chin, Brian Ortega. I like Brian Ortega. Like, he beat up the Korean Zombie really easily and just beat him up. I know Korean Zombie got rocked by the spinning elbow, and that kind of changed the fight, but it was a bit boring and dud. It was a bit of a dud fight beforehand, but that changed it. Ortega landed the spinning elbow. Not like Korean Zombie hurt his foot. That changed the fight, for example. Ortega caused that. He tagged him for a great timed spinning elbow, and that's what changed the fight, really. And Korean Zombie was just concussed all the time, and Ortega got the win. Dominant victory there. And he's been looking good. I know he lost to Volk, but he did look good. He looked decent against Max Holloway. Looked decent in that fight. He did lose and was just starting to lose when the rounds were going on. But caught Max Holloway with a spinning elbow there and here and there. I just think Yair's good. I like Yair Rodriguez. I think he's a very, very good fighter. I just don't like him when it comes to the grappling department. And, of course, Brian Ortega is going to have a massive edge here in the grappling department. In the striking department, it's kind of even, but Yair has the kicks, which will make it up for it. Yair has the kicks. Brian Ortega more pound. If they were both to go to a punch machine, I would say Brian Ortega has more power in a punch. So I would trust him to knock someone out cold with a punch than Yair. Yair I just don't see him winning this one, man. I don't see it going well for him. Now, he did beat Jeremy Stephens, and that was a good win over Jeremy Stephens, but we've seen he can slow down. I said this in the Holloway fight, up to the prediction and breakdown for the Holloway fight. I said he does slow down when the fight goes on, and Ortega has a great cardio. They both have good cardio, but Yair has good cardio when it comes to the stand-up, but when it comes to the grappling, Ortega's been practicing and getting much better at offensive grappling. I think he's going to go out there and get it. Oh, and by the way, like, his grappling already is really good. He's working on his offense. And he's just doing better with it. And I think he's going to go out there and get the win over Yair Rodriguez by 4th round sub. I think he'll get it. I like both of them, though. I'll talk about who gets the winner here and there, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the video. But I just think Brian Ortega is going to be too good here. Max Holloway and Yair always does this thing. I know people are going to mention this. He always does that Canelo little head movement roll thing. Always does that. Always did that Canelo roll, you know? And it's worrying. He did it against Holloway. Did it against Jeremy Stephens there as well. And I think he's going to lose. And Korean Zombie, he did knock out Korean Zombie at the end, but Brian Ortega had a much better performance against the Korean Zombie than Yair did. Alright, fair play. Yair took it on short notice, and you can take that in consideration, but he was comfortably losing a Korean Zombie before he landed that elbow. I just don't see him winning this one. He was getting out-grappled by Frankie Edgar before he had his eyes swelled up. And I just don't see him winning. I just don't see this one going well. Now, he did knock out Andre Fili with a good head kick KO. And he did knock out BJ Penn, but BJ Penn, where is he at this point? Where is BJ Penn? I just think he's going to go out there and get the win. I think Brian Ortega is going to go out there and get the win over Yair Rodriguez. It's tough though for Brian Ortega, but I think to beat Ortega, you kind of have to like beat him up, have the better cardio, just beat him up, get to him. You're gonna have struggles here and there against Ortega. Volk had struggles here and there in the 3rd round against Ortega, and Holloway as well made it competitive. I just don't see this one going well for Yair. I just don't trust him to win this one. Who's older? Brian Ortega is 31 and 29 years old for Yair, but Yair has like a long neck that is meant to get subbed with a guillotine. I think Yair is going to lose. I really do believe so. We've seen him in so much trouble. Edgar took him down here and there. Stephens in the 3rd round took him down. No, fair play, he did win the first 2 rounds really easily, and I know he rocked Stephens, dropped him in that fight, but he still dropped Stephens with the kicks, though. And he could chew up the legs here and there of Brian Ortega, but Ortega's dealt well with leg kicks. Like, he checked a lot of them against Volkanovski, and overall just took them well. And we've seen, like, a Max Holloway in the trilogy and a Korean Zombie don't take them well and don't check them. I just don't see him. I just think Ortega will take them well. I think he'll come forward and get the job done. And I don't think the pressure's going to be there for Yair. Now, about the title shots, I think they said the winner, if Yair wins this, he's going to get a title shot, which just makes no sense whatsoever. Like, you'll at the time will be on a 1-fight winning streak. I know Ortega, and maybe at that position, he could get a title shot, similar to like Gaethje when he fought Chandler. But yeah, he lost to Holloway. Rodriguez lost to Holloway. Gaethje lost to like Khabib at the time there. So I know it's different times, but I don't think he deserves one. I know he's 29, and if he does win, he could be there. But like, he lost to Holloway, and I know he could get it at the time, but Josh Emmett arguably deserves it. Josh Emmett arguably deserves it more. I know he didn't win against Calvin Kattar whatsoever. He lost 4-1. But like, I think Josh Emmett deserves it more than him, and I think they should do Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen for a title shot. And I'm going to go here now to the UFC rankings. And I'm going to see. Now you got Volkanovski that might move up. Holloway is probably going to move up as well. Holloway. Ortega Rodriguez is there. Emmett's at number 3. Number 5. Emmett's at number 4, I'm going to say, because Yair's above him. Emmett's at number 4. Yair's at number 3. I just don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think this is what they're going to do. Of course, Shane Burgos is fighting Charles Jourdain. They might do Barboza Tapiria. They're doing Sadiq Yusuf Gigakedzi. So I guess the winner of this one takes on either Evloev or Mitchell. I think it's going to be Mitchell because he has better wins, arguably. I think Barboza is a better win than Dan Ige. And yeah, I think that's the case. I'd say Andre Fili is probably better than Hakeem Dawodu. Probably not at this point, but I don't know. The winner of this one fights Bryce Mitchell, and then Movsar Evloev can fight. Maybe they can fight each other, but I'm gonna make this simple. Evloev can fight, I don't know, Calvin Kattar, and Allen can fight Emmett. Korean Zombie can fight someone. Bryce Mitchell. Let's do Twister on Twister. Mitchell versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. And let's do the winner of this one versus... If it's Ortega, I don't know. We'll see. Just wait. And if Rodriguez wins, we'll see. Don't give him a title shot. Just let him win as well. But great fight here. I think Brian Ortega gets this one done. I think he's smart. I think he's going to get it. He's 20, he's 30, he's 2 years older, but I think he'll have a reach advantage. He 2-inch reach disadvantage. Yair could pop shot him for 5 rounds, but you're going to have a hard time. It's not going to be easy to do that. You're going to have a hard time. We'll see what happens, though. I hope Ortega wins. He's the favorite. I do believe he will win. Risky, though. He could lose, of course, but I think Yair is going to lose. Yeah, I just don't see him winning. He almost got guillotined at one moment by Holloway, and he got out-grappled yet again by Max Holloway. And you can say offensive grappling, Ortega might be better, but you have to say, like, Brian Ortega is at least better or at the level at Max Holloway, let alone maybe better at the grappling offense, the offensive grappling than Max Holloway, a boxer. So I'm definitely gonna go Brian Ortega. Losing, I think he'll be losing the fight. Losing round 1 in a close round. Yair gets out of big shots at the end. Round 2, Yair's doing good again. Maybe Ortega gets the grappling in, and it'll be 1-1 in people's eyes. He won that round, but it'll be kind of be 2-0 Yair in our eyes, in my eyes, in the hardcore eyes. And round 3, it'll be close. Ortega gets the better of this round, starts to pick it up. Yair's slowing down with the grappling, and in round 4, he gets pressured, gets cracked by a big shot, pressured, does the Canelo roll, gets subbed with a guillotine. Similar to the Cup Swanson finish, I do believe he'll win it. And Ortega can get a KO as well. He has hands. So yeah, Brian Ortega gets it done. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. This is a prediction and breakdown of Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. And yeah, peace.